Welcome to Stepdad Success, turning the tide on the way stepdads are seen and show up in the world. We're a new breed of leaders raising leaders. Blood or no blood, we raise them as our own. We're connected, loving, and committed to leading them into the future. If you asked a normal dad, he'd say we're doing the impossible. He'd say, but they're not yours. How do you do it? Yet every day, stepdads around the world are forging the way. That's what we call Stepdad Success. We're leaders raising leaders. And these are our stories. G'day, this is James Klobassa from Stepdad Success, and today I want to talk about the numbers. You know, we all have businesses, we have jobs, we have households, we have all sorts of expenses in our lives. We have income in our lives. But I can guarantee you, taking care of these numbers that are associated to our expenses and our income is critical. And this is something you need to pass on to your kids. When I grew up, numbers were almost a taboo subject. We didn't talk about them at home. I never heard my parents talking about, employment, income, jobs, possibility, expenses, day-to-day running costs, how much food costs, how much trips cost. There was never any mention of that. And to be honest, I had to learn it as an adult. I had to learn how to manage my own numbers. I had to learn, what the basic numbers were in my life, what the numbers were in my business, and what the numbers were in my household. And you may be thinking, well, James, I've got all that covered. But do you really? Are you in profit at the end of each month, or even at the end of each week? Or are you going backwards? Are you, behind the eight ball? Are you managing credit card debt instead of managing profit? It's a totally different conversation. And the thing behind it is credit card debt and managing debt over a period of time will create a mentality of scarcity. Whereas managing profit, even if it's a little profit each month, doesn't matter what scale you're on, whether you're dealing with hundreds of dollars of profit or hundreds of thousands of dollars of profit. Managing those numbers and knowing that you're going forward every single week, every single day is critical. If you don't have the education around this, reach out. Get help with the basic numbers. And you might be thinking, well, that's a bit scary. I'm a bit ashamed of my numbers. Great. Take that on as a challenge then. Understand that that is something you need to challenge. Understand that it is something you need to learn about. There is a lot of credit card debt in the world. There's a lot of debt in the world. And there's a lot of scarcity in the world. But on the flip side of that, there is a massive amount of abundance. And the thing that abundance brings is confidence. It brings certainty. It brings courage. And you need to breed that in yourself. You need to breed that in your kids. You need to have them from a young age understand how money works and how profit and loss is really driving their character, their self-worth. Now, I've been fortunate in my business life to have been able to create a lot of profit, a lot of income. But that doesn't always mean that I was on the better side of it. I've struggled with credit card debt before. I'm certainly not perfect. But I can tell you one thing. Struggling with credit card debt is not the same as struggling with profit. And you may be thinking, well, James, that's pretty obvious. Yes, it is obvious. So why aren't you changing it? And if you are, or even if you have changed that, if you are already on the profit side, why aren't you managing that to the best capability that you can? Why aren't you learning how to invest that and increase that? And then again, learning in business, understanding what to invest in. Us as humans, we are the value. We create the value in our world. We don't just get given money for nothing. So you need to be able to invest in yourself. The profit that you're making, a portion of that needs to come back to you. Reinvesting in yourself, your skills, your knowledge. Then building team and systems around you. Even if that system is just to have an automatic debit transfer from a checking account to a savings account. Maybe just start with $10. Maybe you can start with $1,000, $10,000 a week, a month. It doesn't matter. The key thing here is that you are actually managing your money. Don't pass down scarcity. You can choose change today. This is what this podcast is all about. It's about picking up the little pieces in our life, becoming aware of the little pieces in our life that aren't working across all areas of life. Just like in fitness, if we're eating too much and not working out, we need to change that. With money, it's just the same. If we're overweight, we don't feel confident. We don't feel like we can do everything we can. There's lack there. There's scarcity there. So when it comes to money in your business, at home, teach prosperity to your kids. Teach your kids how to become abundant. And do that by saving at the very basic level. I know we've set up savings accounts for our boys. We've also teach them on a weekly basis about saving and also giving to charity, so that they've got the mentality of, whatever comes into me, I get to keep a little bit, I get to spend a little bit, and I'm also giving out to charity as well. Get clear around this for yourself. Head to your journal today and look at your financial world. Maybe it's business, maybe you're an employee, doesn't matter. Find out whether the numbers actually add up in your world, and make sure that you're on the profit side. Begin living in abundance. Gain the confidence, gain the courage, gain the certainty that allows, and pass that down to your kids. Thanks for listening today. This has been James Klobassa. Would you like to learn more about how stepdads across the globe are joining forces in raising the next generation of leaders? Then head to www.stepdadsuccess.com and grab all the show notes plus a copy of the brand new tactical guide for creating more happiness, health, wealth, and wisdom as a stepdad. And if you liked the podcast, please share it with other stepdads you know and leave us a review on iTunes. Again, that's www.stepdadsuccess.com for all the show notes and tactical guide. Come and join the new breed of stepdads, the growing group of leaders raising leaders.